Jose, we just caught you off the training pitch, so thanks very much for stopping to chat with us. We'll start talking about your football. You're obviously injured at the moment, but how have you found your start to life at Argyle?
Yeah, good, yeah. Obviously I come in a little bit late, so I was playing catch-up and still playing catch-up a little bit with the little niggle that's happened, but I found I was hitting a little bit of form and then a little niggle come along, so not as well as I'd like, but, got to stay positive.
Obviously you joined us on a sort of 6-month deal originally, wasn't it, which is short term when you've got a young family coming down from the northwest where you spent most of your career. How are you finding life down here?
Yeah, loving it, yeah. Family loving it too. Great place, Argyle's a huge club and massive fan base as well, so everyone's made me welcome and loving me time here.
Now, obviously, one of the reasons we're sitting down and talking to you today is it's Mental Health Awareness Week. You've been very outspoken about mental health issues in the past. For those who aren't kind of aware of your story, would you mind sharing a little bit about your mental health journey with us?
Yeah. A few years ago, I hit a bit of a low patch and sort of had dark times and stuff like that, and found myself, sitting in my bedroom and stuff and not really speaking out and bottling it all up. And the minute I started speaking to someone and stuff, the whole mindset changed, and it's like a huge weight lifted off my shoulder, and I found it massively beneficial actually coming out and speaking and training. I actually started going to the gym and exercising, and everything like that just cleared my mind and helped me and gradually got better.
You became a star at a very young age, made your Everton debut at 16. How do you feel that the pressure and expectation of playing at that level and becoming going onto the main stage, how do you think that impacted the way that you felt about playing the game?
It's a tough one really, because you try and sort of ignore it and just get on with your game and stuff, but coming through such a massive club and the massive players that have come through it, there was a lot of comparison to Wayne Rooney and Rodwell and all the young lads who've come through, so every newspaper you picked up or every time you played, it'd always be well documented in the newspapers or on social media or anything like that. So it was a little bit annoying because you just wanted to be your own person and you didn't want to get comparison to anyone. But in terms of, was it a big expectation? Not really, because it's part and parcel of the game, and when you come through big clubs you need that expectation.
You say it's part and parcel of the game, and obviously it is, but there's an element of my job purely exists to report on what you do. There's nobody's reporting on what I do. There's such a huge bubble around football and the expectation that comes with it. Do you think that in the time that you've been playing, the mental health side has improved, the support for players has improved? No,
I don't think there's enough done for people with mental health. That's just in life in general, not in football as well. In football, I don't think it is. But I've been to many sort of get-togethers really about mental health, and one recently in Manchester with Andy Byrne and stuff like that, and there's school kids who bottle up a lot of pressure in terms of GCSEs and stuff, and going to teachers and letting the teachers know that they're not well and they're not right, and getting told, it's a stress with your GCSEs, you'll be okay, and sending them back out the classroom. And this stuff's there's not many people are speaking out about it more, which is great, but there's not enough support for them people.
In an ideal world, what would you kind of like to see done? Obviously, perhaps let's talk about football, as that's the industry you're experienced in. What would you like to see change in football?
I just like to see more support. People are actually brave enough to come out and say they're not okay, which is amazing. Obviously, the more people that are doing it, the more better it becomes for others, and that's great. But I just feel like there's more. I don't feel like you can just go to one meeting and cover your back and say to your job or your manager, well, I went and seen them and spoke to them, and sort of everyone's covering their own back. It needs to be an ongoing thing, and it needs to start becoming maybe becoming what I'm looking for, like with the way they have maths, history classes in school. Maybe have to start bringing it into school.
I did a bit of research for this interview, and it's the statistics are staggering. It says that 1 in 6 people in the world on any given week will suffer a common mental health complaint. Mental health in many ways is like physical health, and it needs support. What would your advice be for somebody who is perhaps experiencing the low days that you speak of? What does that first step look like?
For me, it's talking. It's coming out and talking. I always think of it about, holding a cup of water with a little bit of water in it. Now, you might be able to hold that for 5 minutes, but come 10 minutes, your arm starts to ache. Come half an hour, your arm's aching. So imagine that over 1, 2, 3 days, and that's the way I look at it. So something so small and that's going on in your mind becomes a lot bigger the more you hold on to it. So for me, coming out and speaking, admitting that it's okay not to be okay, and you need to get out there, speak. It sure does help and benefit you.
And talking about you personally again, you seem to be in a pretty good headspace now. You seem very happy when I see you in and around the club. Is that very much an ongoing effort for you? Do you have certain techniques that you use in order to maintain your sense of well-being?
Do you know what? No, I don't. I'm just a lot more open. I've never had a negative thought since about 3-4 years ago. Since the day it happened to me and the day I got over it. So for me, actually going out and if I seen someone, speaking to them and just trying to give my advice was literally exercise and talking, and it sounds so simple, but it's so beneficial.
And of course, sport is although we talk about the pressure that comes with being a footballer, participating in sport, like you say, exercise. There's a number of Argyle Community Trust activities that people can take part in. That really is a fantastic way to increase both your physical and mental well-being.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think exercise is huge. I think it clears your mind. Yourself, you're having a bit of a crap day at work or anything like that, and you actually go for a run, it clears your mind, it helps you. So the more you exercise, the more a healthy mind you get. And like I said before, it doesn't have to be just footballers, it's people in every walk of life. There's pressures in work, there's pressure in 9-to-5 jobs, there's pressures in the job you do yourself in terms of what questions am I going to ask, what's this, what's that. That's just life. You need to speak out in any walk of life.
And I guess finally, my last question would be, what would your one sentence message be to somebody who's struggling with their mental health issues?
Talk. Don't be afraid to come out and talk, because you will be surprised how many people have been through it, and the more people that talk, the more you're going to help others.